Fleetway Incorporated is a reliable and speedy courier. They only employ the best ex-highwaymen and former pirates, so you know your precious cargo is in safe hands. With the region's largest stable of Pegasi, next-day delivery is almost guaranteed. Extra charges apply for deliveries free of Pegasus dung.
All the tabletop role-playing news, we aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG.
Hello, and indeed a fourth hello, and welcome to Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. I, as always, am Russ, aka Morrus, or Morrus, aka Russ, and with me is...
Peace Coffee from the Southampton Guild of Role Players. Russ, I am, as ever, extremely pleased to be here, but I am a little distraught by this dreadful break from tradition.
Which one?
The fourth hello. It's just unacceptable. I'll brook no repeats.
Revolutionary.
It's certainly an idea.
Evolutionary.
So you're going for the fourth edition of Hello. I don't know. I like the third one better.
Well, you know, it's our 49th podcast, and 49 is a memorable date.
It is.
It is.
7 sevens.
Yeah. So next week's our 50th podcast. Actually, that's not entirely true, because we did an episode 0.
That's true.
So today's actually our 50th episode.
Yes.
But it's episode 49.
Yes.
But it's next week we're going to be kind of celebrating that with
episode
a
50,
special guests.
which will be our 51st. Yes.
Yeah. That'll be exciting, won't it?
It will be very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right then. Yes. How's your week been?
How's my week been?
Yeah.
It's been pretty good, actually. I'm continuing my one-man epic quest to bring role-playing to the good people of Hampshire, whether they want it or not. And this includes things like...
What? Is this forced role-playing? You're not abducting people off the streets and forcing them to play D&D, are you?
Kinky. No, I'm not.
That's a weird fetish, yeah.
Consensual roleplay only, thank you very much. You're not making this any better. So there's a friend of mine who has come up with a brilliant idea for an indoor live-action role-playing game. It's not Vampire, and that was all I needed to know to be sold on the matter, so I'm looking forward to getting that up and off the ground.
Okay.
And also, I am working on what's called a West Marches style game.
Ooh.
Yes, it's very exciting. It's all just flowing together. There's so many resources on the internet that you could just steal, use.
Is this to be run at your club or on a separate night?
Well, this is hopefully to be run... It can be run at the club, but I'm actually hoping to do it on different days of the week.
Yeah.
The idea behind the West Marches being that you have people, busy adults, get their schedules together and say, we can all do it on this sort of time, and then you do a sort of a one-off game. And it's exploration. But this one-off game then feeds back into a greater world, so you could have like one person who's super keen, play with lots of different groups and go around and other stuff. And if you're like got less time for role-playing, but you still want to, then yeah, you can absolutely hop in.
So you're doing D&D 5th edition for that?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's going to be...
It sounds fun.
Yeah, well, it's getting random tables, but I'm chomping at the bit, ready to get this thing running.
Cool.
Yeah. It's going to be June, because I've got, like, a lot of stuff on before then, but yeah, once that hits, then, yeah.
So after UK Games Expo?
Yes, after UK Games Expo.
Which we will both be at, by the way.
Yes.
That's going to be exciting.
When is that? That's not this weekend. It's the weekend after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bank holiday
weekend.
So
in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, in 2 weeks it will have just been.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Mate, it's going to be quite massive.
Do you know what I seem to have been doing this week?
Is it getting ready for UK Games Expo?
Well, partly that, but also answering the door to the postman, actually, post lady,
yes.
Frequently.
Your mail carrier?
My mail carrier, yes.
Your female mail carrier?
Yeah. What? That's what the Americans call them, isn't it?
Yeah,
What do we call them? Do we call them that as well?
Postie.
Just postie, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so things have been arriving,
yes.
and so I thought I'd show you these wonderful things I've got. So item number 1, which I'm very, very grateful to long-time friend of the show, Shane Stacks, who very, very kindly, because this object I've wanted for a while, it is available on Amazon US for about $20.
Oh, bargain.
And on a special sort of day, you can probably get it for like $12 or something.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Guess how much it is on Amazon UK?
Oh, $20, so I don't know, 15, 20 quid?
£40.
£40?
For our American listeners, so you're talking sort of like approaching $50 for the D&D Stranger Things starter set.
Okay. Wow.
So originally, I sort of complained a little on Twitter that Amazon kept sending, because I pre-ordered it ages ago.
Yeah.
And Amazon kept sending me emails saying, "Oh, we're sorry, we're having trouble getting hold of your order. The new estimated delivery date is now mid-May, end of May," and then it got to mid-June. At which point I was like, "What is going on here?"
Ridiculous.
And then Shane said, "Look, if you want, I'll just buy you one and post it." I was like, "Thank you, Shane. That's very, very kind." And so here it is. It has arrived safely. And I thought we could have a quick look at it.
Yeah, let's.
A bit of podcast unboxing.
Ooh.
We have to be super quick because we've got so much news to do this week.
Yes, but I'm already loving the fact
I'm trying to open it quietly without making horrible noises on the microphone.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
So we got. You open up the box here.
I'm loving the fact it already looks pre-aged. Oh, it's got Demogorgons.
It has 2 Demogorgons, one painted, one non-painted.
I see.
So let me extract the painted one. When I say painted, it's literally just a bit inside its mouth.
Yeah.
It's just painted red.
Yeah, it's right sort of resin.
So we've got 2 of those. And that's a Stranger Things Demogorgon, of course, not a D&D game.
Yeah.
And you've got a set of dice there, which,
it's definitely
it's a starter set, so, you'd expect that. It's a big box with a lot of empty space in it.
Yes.
The reason they do that is, A, it gives them bigger shelf space, makes it more visible on the shelf in a toy shop. Okay. This is where this sort of thing is going to be found, like Target and all that sort of places. Toys R Us, if that was still around. And also, the idea is you put your own stuff in there as well.
As you accumulate it.
Yeah. So we get a starter set rulebook, not vastly dissimilar to the Lost Mines of Phandelver one.
Yeah.
So, that's all very...
Basic ability checks, saving throws, attack rolls.
Except all the art and stuff is all...
It's all sort of pre-aged.
Yeah, it's all Stranger Things art and stuff.
Got that fantastic 80s vibe to it.
So a similar start set. But then we get this adventure. So instead of Lost Mines of Phandelver, this one has the Hunt for the Thessal Hydra, a D&D campaign by Mike Wheeler. And Mike Wheeler, of course, is one of the characters in Stranger Things. And so you get this thing, and it's done in a sort of fake handwriting inside, like it's a 1980s school notebook, homework book sort of thing. Yeah. So his sketches and it's very, very tidy, though. I don't believe his writing is that tidy.
Certainly it would have a certain more
nice
spider with inky feet.
Yeah, so there we go. So yeah, there's a nice little adventure there. It's how many pages long is it? It hasn't got page numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably about. Any ideas what sort of level it's going to go to?
Oh, it's a starter set, so it's going to be
4th level.
Yeah,
there we go. So yeah, that looks about right for that. Got some interesting stuff. It's going to be some fairly old school D&D.
Yeah, it's going to be, and then you've got some character sheets as well, obviously.
Yeah, and we were hoping for the. We've got a variety of them, including starting at level 3.
Yeah, so these presumably the PCs that the characters in Stranger Things were playing.
Yes.
I assume.
Ooh,
I mean, the show doesn't really go into detail about the characters they're playing.
Yeah, I think we've also seen previously character sheets for the actual characters. But yeah, okay, so we've got a bard, a cleric, a paladin, a ranger.
So it's all because in Stranger Things, obviously it's set in the 80s, so they're playing AD&D First Edition.
Yes.
Obviously, this is D&D 5th Edition.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not the exact same game they're playing in the show. Then again, they play the game in the show wrong anyway, so they make a hit roll for a fireball, don't they?
Oh, dear me, shocking.
In one of the first scenes of the show.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the Stranger Things starter set. Thank you very much, Shane, for sending that over.
Yes, very pretty.
Yes. Although I did have to pay a customs charge on it as well, which is mildly annoying. Then I have got here...
I noticed it's made in China, so that will become relevant.
Is it?
Yes. Made in China. That may become relevant later on in the news section. Who can say?
I thought all Wizard of the Coast stuff was done in the US. Oh, who knew? Oh, okay.
No, that's what's in the box.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Heroes of Baldur's Gate. Heroes of Baldur's Gate, even. I'll say that a bit more clearly, because I rushed that out a bit.
Yes.
Heroes of Baldur's Gate.
Yes, the new enunciated version.
Yes, the newly enunciated version. So this comes from the same guys that are doing Odyssey of the Dragonlords, that Greek-inspired D&D Kickstarter.
Oh, yes, those BioWare people you said.
Yeah, the people from BioWare. So this is totally separate to that, though, not connected to it. So they're doing that, but they also released this book called Heroes of Baldur's Gate, the D&D 5th edition, and it's a it's a big thick hardback book. It's what is it? It is 160 odd pages.
Certainly, it's got an actual adventure in here where there may have been spoilers for the original Baldur's Gate in there.
Maps of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate is. I got to think if you
probably want to put your face close to the microphone. I feel that may help you out.
Yeah, I think if you think of Waterdeep as being Metropolis, Baldur's Gate is kind of Gotham City. Does that make sense?
Anyway,
that was Heroes of Baldur's Gate.
It was good. It seems to be purely a book for DMs, which is
yeah. Well, it's got I think lots of maps of Baldur's Gate
and the Sword Coast in general. I assume.
I think it focuses a bit more on Baldur's Gate specifically.
Strictly Baldur's Gate. Nice.
Yeah, it's got an adventure in there.
No.
It is a big adventure basically. Looks fun. I mean, I think Baldur's Gate's probably more to my taste than Waterdeep. Waterdeep's a bit too shiny for me.
Yeah,
a bit too colourful.
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate's a bit grimier, a bit,
One of the things that caught my eye when we were having a look at earlier is it's got like various characters and heroes. So you've got Corin Dynahair, that well-known cleric. Imoen, of course.
Well, yeah. It's got all the. I think it's got all of the characters from the video games.
Oh goodness! Challenge rating 7. Check you out, Imoen. And we've got Jaheira.
Yep. We've got Minsk and Boo.
Oh, well, there's Khalid.
Minsk. Challenge 7.
He frequently asks his hamster Boo for advice and encourages others to do the same. Many of his best ideas seem to come from the rodent.
There's no stats for Boo.
Well, that's because this guy's a fighter, apparently. Oh, right. Based off a fighter.
If I turn over the page, Boo hasn't got a page of his own, has he? No, damn it.
Oh, we've got Zan. It's like, oh no, but there's Boo.
There's Boo on his shoulder. Yeah!
Oh.
Go for the eyes, Boo!
Oh, well, there we go. Sad times, man, sad times.
Yes. And
Boo would just be OP, though. So, to be fair,
True.
You don't want, it's got the special attack, go for the eyes. And that's it, mate. It's all over.
It is.
Yeah.
So one last thing arrived. Yeah. And this was something that I'd ordered from DM's Guild.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Because, despite the fact that I've got an awful lot of older role-playing stuff upstairs, what I haven't got anything of is Spelljammer.
What?
I don't know why. I just never really, like back in the second edition days, never really did. I mean, it's not like I had anything against it. I just never really
picked it up.
Picked up Spelljammer. So I decided I would treat myself and pick up this hardcover Spelljammer. It's print on demand.
Yeah.
And it's scans of the original inside. So quality-wise, it's what you'd expect from that.
Yeah.
And this is essentially basically the old Spelljammer box set compiled into
a nice hardback book.
Yeah, including the sort of monstrous compendium and all this sort of stuff, all just kind of crammed in there into one nice big hardback book. So
I bet you could do something nice with that with 5th edition if you wanted.
I imagine so. Yeah. Or you could play it in 2nd edition if you wanted.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know. Would you want to do that?
I probably not want to play it in 2nd edition. I'll be honest, because I'd have to learn all the 2nd edition rules.
They're not that different.
I think that's part of the thing that makes it so exciting. And
you want to weigh this one, do you?
You
appear to be turning on the scales.
I am turning on the scales.
All right. We can
wait. Sorry. Wait, no, sorry.
Set to 0.
That's it, 0. Wait.
Wow, it's a heavy one.
Yeah. Rocking in at 1.17 kilos.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Which is 2 pounds 9 ounces and a quarter. So,
wow.
That's like twice the value of the Baldur's Gate book right there.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks very exciting. So, Spelljammer.
Anyway, should we get on with the news?
Yes, let's get on with the news.
Okay.
News.
It's the news at 3.
Yes.
3 o'clock. Okay, then. The first item of news.
Yes.
So I just want to say up front,
yes,
this is going to be a very news-heavy podcast.
Yes.
And as our listeners will no doubt be aware, there's lots and lots of big D&D news.
They actually got around to telling us something.
Yeah, we're gonna stick that in on the second half of the podcast and sort of zero in on that and spend some time with that. So the news we're doing now is just the general news, and then if you want all the D&D news from the big announcements over the weekend, that'll be a little bit later in the podcast.
Yes, After guest Kickstarter and sketch. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's basically going to be our topic of the week. Woo! But our topic of the week this week is going to be an extended news section.
Yes.
Yes. That makes sense. Doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Okay then. So on with the other news.
The other news. Yes.
So Bethesda. We mentioned it was either last week or the week before. The plagiarism scandal in which they have been enveloped.
Yes.
They were accused of plagiarising a D&D adventure.
Yes.
It seems pretty clear that the two adventures are very, very, very similar, like almost word for word.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an awful lot of doubt about it.
It's like the same adventure, you just change the names. It's like super bad.
So what you think they'd probably do is they'd issue an apology, you'd probably expect, wouldn't you?
What, having been caught doing something wrong?
Yeah.
Even unintentionally, like giving them the full benefit of the doubt. Then yes, I'd expect them to say.
Yeah. Well, this is what they said. You can give it marks out of 10.
Okay.
For quality of apology.
Right.
Listen carefully for the apology.
I'm beginning to see where this is going.
Are you ready? This is it.
I'm listening.
We have pulled a previously shared ESO tabletop RPG adventure while we investigate the source. Thank you to those who reached out with concerns. Thanks again to everyone who highlighted the issue of alleged plagiarism in relation to the ESO Elsewhere tabletop RPG promotion. Our intention had been to create and give away a unique Elsewhere, I don't know if I'm pronouncing Elsewhere correctly, by the way, inspired scenario that could be played within any popular tabletop RPG rule set. Not like Traveller. I don't know.
Yes.
We requested that an original scenario be created, and we are investigated why this does not appear to be the case. We have removed all assets relating to this and ask, in respect to the creator of the original scenario, that it should not be circulated. Lastly, to avoid any confusion, please note that there is no correlation between this scenario and anything that will eventually appear within the video game. What do you think of that as an apology? Mark it out of 10.
I'm going to have to say it's a non-apology, because at no point did I actually say sorry.
Yes, there's no apology in there whatsoever, is there?
It's basically sounds like some lawyer weasel foo, because they've looked at it and they're like, well, this is basically the same thing, and now they're like trying to work out who's to blame. So I imagine there's a certain amount of hot potato going on in the BioWare offices, but it sort of changes because they're like, well, yeah, we don't know it's exactly the same, despite the evidence of people with eyes and both PDFs put in front of them. But yeah, they're like, but then they sort of, by the end of the thing, they've switched around to saying, well, we're looking into it and it won't happen again, and it, like, the resulting, like, actual adventure won't be anything like this one. So, you know.
Who knows?
They're basically saying, yeah, we did it, but
maybe there'll be another apology forthcoming later, when they've determined that it was in fact plagiarism and not an incredible coincidence.
I should imagine there's a lot of weaseling going on right now.
Do you reckon somebody's lost their job?
I think people are trying to avoid losing their jobs. It's just like, you know, it's all political hot potato, and managers are going around playing politics, trying to pin the blame on the unfortunate donkey.
Ah. Well, would you like to switch from that little bit of bad news onto a bit of good news?
I would love to. Let's do it.
Well, you can't, because there's another bit of bad news.
Hey! Wait, no. What?
So, do you get all of your RPGs printed in China, Peter?
Despite earlier knowing about Made in China for the Strange Things box set, because that was written inside the box, I don't know where they come from. They just magically appear.
Yes, there is magic, yeah. That's that news segment over. It's just magic. Yeah, so what's actually happening is the US has announced that there's going to be tariffs of up to 25% on imports from China, including board card, miniature and role-playing games, comics and graphic novels, and toys.
I see.
So what happens is if your game is printed in China and then is shipped to the US, that's when those tariffs will kick in.
Right.
If your game is printed in China and shipped to Europe, obviously it won't. Or if it's printed in Europe and shipped to the US, it won't. But on quite a lot of because the prices to print and stuff are so cheap in China. Quite a lot of RPG companies and board game companies and toy and all sorts of people.
I don't think the fact that China is a major manufacturer is going to be news to anyone listening to this podcast. If it is, excellent news.
Can't assume. Can't assume.
Well, if you make an assumption, you make an ass out of your assumption.
Yes. Anyway, it's not quite as bad as you think because because the tariff isn't on the.
It's not in the books yet, is it? It's still a potential tariff.
Yeah, well, it's actually been. It was going to kick in towards the end of July,
right?
I believe, but it's actually been postponed by another few weeks now.
Okay,
making it a little later, so it won't affect anything that you're buying before around about August, September, anyway.
Oof. Okay. Yeah.
But it's not quite. It's not. Doesn't mean that the stuff you're buying is going to cost 25% more though. Okay. Because the tariff isn't on how much it's sold for in the US. It's how much it's made for in China.
Huh.
So say it costs you, I don't know, let's say a board game, for example. It costs you $8 to make it in China.
Yeah.
And then it costs you another, I don't know, $5 to ship it to the US.
Yeah.
So you're talking like $13. A few other incidental bits. Say it's $15.
Okay.
And then you're selling it for, say, $50 in the US.
Right.
It's the $15 that the tariff percentage applies to, not the $50.
Okay, so if it was $16 base price, then that would be $20 new price, including the tariff.
So you'd be adding an extra $4 sort of thing, yeah.
So we might see game prices rise by, in the case of a $50 game, maybe 10%, or I don't know. I don't think the margins in publishing are that good.
Well, I think places like Wizard of the Coast and larger people can probably afford to just eat that.
They're not going to like it, but they could.
No, but on the scales that they're producing, they're paying what, a couple of dollars or less per book. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, so 25% on that is going to be an extra 50 cents or so.
Right.
You know, it's not much, and they're selling them for $40 odd.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I think they can probably afford to absorb that.
Yeah, so in fact it will be the smaller publishers that catch it in the shorts. Marvellous.
Yeah, not great news, but there we go. I mean, I'll be fine because I print in Lithuania.
Really?
So it won't affect me.
Oh, okay.
There is a D&D art documentary.
Ooh.
It's called Eye of the Beholder. And it is...
Okay, sorry.
It is available on various streaming services, like, you know, iTunes and Amazon Video and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's actually out. It's not Kickstarter.
It's out. It's out. Yeah. The Art of Dungeons and Dragons. It's a documentary.
Yes.
And it just looks like the history and the stories behind all the sort of amazing artwork over the decades in D&D. I've seen the trailer. Haven't watched the actual thing.
Yeah.
And the trailer actually looks quite interesting. I'm probably gonna check out the actual whole thing when I've got a spare.
Okay.
Well, now Game of Thrones is finished. I've got more time.
Well, we'll have to give that a look.
Yes. Okay. We've got some stats.
Statistics.
Yes. Statistics say the same thing that all the stats always say. How popular is D&D?
Massively popular.
Yes. So the latest usage stats for Fantasy Grounds are in.
Ooh.
This is from Q1 2018 through to Q1 2019, so an entire year.
Indeed, yes.
And D&D is up again.
Yes.
It's now at 69% of the market.
Right. 69% of games played on Fantasy Grounds are D&D.
5th edition, specifically.
5th edition
yes.
of D&D.
There are other editions which also have fairly sizable chunks as well, but 5th edition, 69%.
Yeah.
Pathfinder has dropped from 12% to 9%.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think that's surprising though, given the edition change coming up.
No, the question is, are there being more games played?
Yes. Yeah.
So
the whole thing's grown as well.
So the amount of Pathfinder might not actually have dropped.
Yeah.
It's just like in proportion to the game. So it's not increasing popularity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
and Savage Worlds has dropped to nearly 2%. It's dropped down to 4%. It was at 6%.
Okay.
So that's had a bit of a plunge there, unfortunately.
But again, what?
But that's relative numbers, not.
If the market is increasing, then
absolutely. So there's just some basic stats there. There was a new revised Artificer.
Oh, yes.
Over on Unearthed Arcana, over on Wizards of the Coast website.
Oh, yes. I was in a game with somebody playing one of those.
Oh, yeah? Well, the new one, or...?
Not the new one if it's just been released.
It was last week sometime.
Yeah, this was like about 2 months ago or something.
Oh, definitely not then. No.
Yeah. They released the Artificer because they're trying to make that a thing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was alright. You had like a little droid following them around.
Yeah.
That came with Zap things.
Yeah.
It worked quite well in an Eberron game.
Sure.
Yeah.
You were playing an Eberron game, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was. The season has passed. Now I'm in Stars Without Number.
What, just before the Eberron hardcover book was announced?
Well, it's only like 6 weeks. So it was about 3 weeks ago we finished playing. And we'd definitely love to come back, which is part of the reason why I'm doing a sort of a West Marches game, looking to import all those D&D characters which have been in short games, so they can then plunge into this. Yeah.
So the Artificer,
yes.
This one has a couple of new subclasses.
Ooh.
They are the Archivist and the Battlesmith.
Okay.
A revised spell list, which includes spells from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Mm-hmm. Some new infusions.
Okay.
The Enhanced Wand, Repeating Shot, and Repulsion Shield.
Okay.
Django has that spell, Repulsion Shield.
He definitely does. That and Toxic Cloud is... Your dog's just an innate spellcaster.
Yeah.
But it sounds like much the same as previously.
Oh yeah, it's a revision of the same class.
Oh
yeah,
it's
an iteration rather than a...
Is the previous stuff now just no good?
Well, it's all playtest material anyway. Okay. None of this is
official. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you make of it, I suppose.
Depends what you mean by official, but...
Well, not playtest material, generally speaking.
Okay. Would you like to hear some Warhammer news?
Oh, go on then.
I've got 2 bits of Warhammer news. 2 bits of Warhammer news. Multiple Warhammer newses.
I see.
Yes.
An embarrassment.
Yes. I'd be embarrassed if I had so much Warhammer news, which I do.
Yes.
So I'm embarrassed.
Oh, well,
this is my embarrassed face.
Yeah, I can see that. Anyway.
So the first bit of Warhammer news is Cubicle 7's Age of Sigmar RPG now has a title.
No, it's not Age of Sigmar RPG.
It is not. It's called Soulbound.
I think I like Age of Sigmar RPG better.
Well, tough. When you get a copy, you can scribble off the name and write your own name on there if you like.
Could do.
You could do. Are you not going to do that then?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And hasn't there also been a bit of news about Ulysses Spiel?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Okay,
Still on this though.
Okay.
Also, this one has been delayed.
Delayed?
Yes.
Oh.
It was going to be late 2019.
Right.
It's now been moved to spring 2020.
Oof. Well, I'm sure it will be exciting and brilliant when it comes out.
I'm sure it will.
With the extra time, they'll have made it perfect.
Yes. But yeah, as you were literally just saying, we noticed a couple of weeks ago that Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory had disappeared mysteriously from Ulysses North America's website.
Yes.
And we were all like, ooh, where's it gone?
Where did the game go?
We were awfully confused.
Yes.
We know not where it had gone.
Yes.
And then it was gone for a while. And then it disappeared off Drive-Thru RPG as well.
Yes.
And everyone was even more, oh my god, where's it gone?
We were all confuzzled.
And then it popped up. And guess where it popped up?
Ooh, I could guess, but I know the answer.
Go on, make a guess then. What's your answer?
Well, my answer would be Cubicle 7.
Correct! So Cubicle 7 announced that they are now taking over the game.
Excellent.
So I don't know what the background to this is.
Yeah.
Only that Ulysses North America are out.
Yeah.
Cubicle 7 are in. The actual game is getting a slight revision and reprinting.
Yes.
Because I believe there were some complaints about...
There were parts of it missing, I'm informed.
And there was some editing snafus and stuff like that. So I think Cubicle 7 are dealing with that.
Yep.
So there's going to be a reprinting. So it's not a totally new game. It's the same.
Well, that's theory. So yeah,
it's quite interesting that Games Workshop, because they did something similar with Fantasy Flight Games stuff that was licensed from Games Workshop. And when another company got the license, the stuff that Fantasy Flight Games had made was transferred over to them, and that company started selling it.
Oh,
so
Weird.
It would be like, my Judge Dredd Rebellion came along and said, we are taking that book and we are giving it to some other company and they're going to sell it now.
Modiphius.
Yeah, for example, because Modiphius sell everything in the world. Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, it's just like I've never seen a license that does that, but it seems that Games Workshop's licensing terms allow them to do that.
Wow. Okay,
it's quite harsh.
Yeah, but it's like we can only hope there's some sort of payoff. Either that or just get better lawyers. Games
Who
Workshop
knows? Well, Games Workshop are big, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they. Yeah, I think they're probably quite strict. They like to lawyer up as well, don't they?
They are famously litigious, although I think Spots the Space Marine has proved that there are limits to exactly how far they can go.
Yeah.
Google it online in case you're all about.
Yeah. What else is there?
What else is there?
There was did you know that in 1994, which is your favourite edition of D&D that's not 5th edition, if you had to pick one?
As in produced by Wizards of the Coast?
Just your favourite edition of D&D. Is it official?
Well, I'm very partial to 13th Age.
No, but actually D&D, called D&D.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Well, I tried 3rd Ed. I even tried running some games. I didn't like it, so I guess I'd have to say 4th Ed.
Okay. Well, how about this one? This 1994 Japanese version of D&D.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Goodness.
I mean,
They
it
look
just
like little,
looks completely
mangas.
different, doesn't it? Yeah, like the art style and everything, and obviously it's all done with with Japanese writing and stuff like that, kanji and stuff.
Well, yeah. Traditionally, when selling things to Japanese people, it's best to describe stuff they can read.
But but this came out in 1994.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically a completely different book, it looks like, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, certainly any of our Japanese reading listeners, we would be delighted to know who are familiar with this.
Yeah, this definitely, you have to see it to get the sense of what we're talking about. So we'll stick a link in the show notes for that. Yeah,
they're quite pretty, like little manga covers, and then we've got like a sort of a double page spread, the traditional, these are what various races look like. And the elves are looking very American, absolutely straight blonde hair, they've got the big sticky out ears, I suppose that's less American than anything. And then
you're saying Americans don't have big sticky ideas? Well,
yeah, Darryl accepted.
I thought all Americans had pointed ears.
Well, hang on, so we've got...
How else would you tell they're Americans if they didn't have pointed ears?
That's an excellent question.
I mean, that's how I identify Americans.
So my question here is, it's clearly supposed to be like a male and female of each different, like, species. So those are clearly dwarves, those are clearly elves.
Yes.
Are the rest all humans? Because they're way too tall to be halflings.
They might not be races, they might be classes.
I hear what you're saying, but just how they're dressed.
They could be classes.
They could be classes.
I was hard to tell because it's all written in Japanese.
That's part of the fun rush. It's like you've got those people who are like a red and green.
I'm going to guess they're classes rather than races. Yeah. Although some of them they're obviously both elves, but, and they're obviously both dwarves.
Yeah, that's where maybe that's where I'm confused.
Who knows?
So maybe those people there are clerics, and I don't know. But where's the fighters? Maybe those are monks. Who can say?
Well, maybe they're fighters. They're fighters there.
Okay,
yeah.
So these would be bards then,
I suppose.
Well, I'm just basing it entirely on like how big and frilly their clothes are.
Yeah,
and those are the lesser known
pirates.
Rogues. That's what they are.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
But I'm sure for all our listeners at home, you're like going, well, that was informative. Thanks, guys. And then honestly, it's like really interesting. So we digress.
Yeah.
On with the news.
The Expanse RPG is now opened for pre-orders. So the Kickstarter ended last year. The hardcovers are on their way out to backers, I believe, and I am one of those backers, so I'm expecting a knock at the door at any time. And it'll either be my Expanse book, or, I don't know, the tax man or something.
A bill, process papers. Yay! Sorry, I should make jokes like that for small publisher.
we got our taxes done in time this year, just about. It was a bit of a rush. Because I had my new publishing assistant.
Yes.
Jessica, who had to do it.
Congratulations,
Jessica. She got to spend 2 weeks going through all the accounts and doing all the taxes, which is such fun.
Yep.
Anyway, the Expanse RPG.
Yes.
now available for pre-order.
Yes.
So if you want a copy of that, I'll put a link in the show notes and you can pop along and order yourself a copy. It's from Green Ronin, based on the books from which the TV series was made.
And remind me, is that using one of the Age systems?
Yeah. Adventure Game Engine.
Adventure Game Engine.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. You can get the PDF now, I believe.
Oh.
If you want to just get the PDF, you can grab it now. If you want the hardcover, pre-order it.
Exciting.
Yes. What else do we have in the news? Ooh. Did you see that?
No.
Okay. What do you reckon the most popular D&D character name is? And this is serious.
Brenner Battlehammer.
So, this is another one of D&D Beyond's data dumps.
Oh, okay.
So, they have taken all the names that people use for their characters and they've spat out the most common ones.
Is it Bob?
It is Bob.
Yeah.
Bob is the most common D&D character name. And they've got the top 15 D&D player character names here.
Yeah.
So Bob is number 1.
Yeah.
Then we've got Varys, which is like Varys in Game of Thrones, but spelled with an I rather than a Y.
Sad times.
Nyx, NYX.
Oh, yeah, okay. I actually know someone who in real life goes by that.
Okay. Luna.
Okay.
Ash. Jack.
There.
Lilith.
Ooh, nice.
Then Nyx, Nix. If you added those two Nixes together, though, NYX and NIX, it would be the first.
Right, so Nix or Bob?
Zephyr.
Strong. I've actually played a character called Zephyr. I'm feeling deeply in the original right now. Please continue.
Rogar.
Okay. Wasn't that the name of the barbarian from Hero Quest?
I couldn't tell you.
I think so.
This is a good one.
I'm sure listeners will
Are you ready
tell
for
me.
this?
Yes.
Cleric.
Sometimes you just got to go. It's like, I might as well change my name.
And the one after that is Bard.
Right. I think it's maybe people making examples at this point.
Although there was a guy called Bard in The Hobbit.
That is true.
But I'm glad that they've got my Bard called Cleric and my Cleric called Bard.
Well, look, everyone knows a perfectly good name for a cleric is Eric. Eric the Cleric.
Eric the Cleric.
Yeah.
Then Raven, Ember, and Shadow.
Ah, yes. That will be from the little-known goth phase of the role-playing community.
Well, I suppose when you count in sort of Ash and Luna and all that sort of stuff.
Ash, I'm going to have to say it's Pokemon.
Is it?
For me, yeah.
I believe you. I don't know anything about Pokemons.
Yeah. Well, they're basically like small monsters.
I don't want to know anything about Pokemons.
Dear me.
I have zero interest in Pokemons.
My inability to troll Russ with a straight face will forever be one of my sad things.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yes, there's more news.
More news.
The One Ring.
Yes.
Cubicle 7's. This is the third Cubicle 7 news item this week.
Oh, Dominic must be thin.
Yes, they appear to be just pumping them out hourly at the moment. So they're doing a new edition of The One Ring.
Yes. A new edition.
It's The One Ring 2nd edition.
Okay.
But
everyone's got to have an edition nowadays. They just don't feel cool.
Well, the original one was just The One Ring role-playing game. This one is called The One Ring Lord of the Rings role-playing game.
For those people who found the One Ring reference far too confusing.
Well, I don't know why.
Who purchased the game and were then like, well, this is clearly not about small Japanese girls trapped in wells and thereby psychically terrifying and killing people. What is this? What on earth's a Hobbit?
Well, this is so it's The One Ring, the Lord of the Rings role-playing game. It's set 25 years after the defeat of Smaug or Smaug, depending on who you believe.
Smaug. Smaug.
I always called it Smaug. I refuse to change to Smaug, no matter what the stupid films tell me it is.
And so, what then was the name of the villain of the Lord of the Rings? Big chap, Dark Tower, Big Red Eye.
I've totally blanked on him. Mordor. You come on, just not walk into Mordor. What's his bloody name?
Was it Sauron or was it Sauron?
Sauron.
That's the thing. I always read it as Sauron because...
How did I forget that? Why was I mind blanking on that?
I don't know, because you had something real to remember.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Sauron, yeah.
No,
I think I actually did used to say Sauron. I think the films did actually change me on that. Because I just heard it said so much that it changed me. But yeah, I think I was Sauron up until the films.
And is it Smaug or Smaug?
I go Smaug.
Smaug, right. Smaug and Sauron, as opposed to Smaug.
But in the film, it's not even Smaug, it's Schmaug. Schmaug. It's like Sean Connery saying it. Schmaug.
Stop, this dragon is not ready.
Anyway, so the Long Ring. The Long Ring?
Do we have a point?
The One Ring.
The One Ring, Lord of the Rings role-playing game, second edition.
So it's coming out end of this year, beginning of next year.
Yes.
It's going to be back compatible with a lot of the first edition stuff.
Okay.
Which is good.
So they didn't have a lot of changes to make?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But they've announced a whole line. So the line includes the core game, which is a 350-page core rulebook.
Wow, okay.
All new art, maps, rules, and all that sort of stuff.
Sounds sweet.
Then we've got a starter set.
Yes.
Which allows you to explore the Misty Mountains and reclaim the Horn of the Storm. Ooh. Box set.
Oh.
Then we have a Lawmaster's Screen. Mm-hmm. We have Fell Foes, which is a monster manual, basically. Mm-hmm. We've got Minas Tirith, the Tower of the Guard, which is a guide to the city. Mm-hmm. We have got the Errantries of the King, which is a campaign set in Gondor.
I've seen the quarry in New Zealand where they had the Minas Tirith city set up. Mm. Yeah, it's quite good, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. I see why it was so craggy now.
And finally, we've got Moria, the Long Dark.
Ooh, yeah.
So there we go. That is, I think that's the last of our Cubicle 7 news for the week, though.
Okay.
Unless they announce something else in the next hour. Oh, I did notice that Modifius,
yes,
over the weekend, was saying that they were going to announce something at 2:30, something big at 2:30 on Monday, and it's now 3:30.
Yes.
It might be worth me actually checking.
Yeah, let's check it out. Oh.
Tabletop wargaming in the world of Tamriel. Modifius is producing yet another game.
And why the hell not? It's part of their remit, which is to publish all of the things. All of them.
Yeah, they do seem to publish a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, there we go. They've literally just announced this while we're recording. So, Modifius announces the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms lead groups of followers on adventures inside Dwemer ruins, Draugr-infested Nord tombs, and the frozen wilderness. Versus co-op and solo narrative-driven gameplay, 32mm scale miniatures. I don't think this is a role-playing game, actually.
It's a tabletop war game.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 1 to 6 heroes, 3 to 15 troops. They've got but I think they're also... the thing is, they're offering dungeon delves as well. Mm. So I think it might be a little bit like Imperial Assault, which is by Fantasy Flight.
Yeah.
But you can either play that as a skirmish-style war game or... sort of a asymmetric like adventure game where you have like 4 heroes and hordes of stormtroopers on the other side.
Okay, on with the news.
Yes.
Do you remember the D&D cartoon?
Yes.
Of the 80s?
Loved it.
So there's this Brazilian ad company.
Oh yes, okay.
Who have made an ad for Renault.
Oh yeah.
Well, because I presume Renaults sell well in Brazil. I don't know, but anyway, they have used the characters from the D&D cartoon.
Those are the characters.
These are live-action versions of the characters. Hank the Ranger, Eric the Cavalier, Diana the Acrobat, Presto the Magician, Sheila the Thief, and Bobby the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And they've made a car commercial using them. And there you go. So they've each got a poster each as well, if you wanted to see them really close up.
Oh, so cute.
They're all spot on. I think the only thing that I would criticise is Hank's hair. It's the only thing that's off.
Well, it's a bit modern and messy.
But the rest of them, spot on, aren't they?
No. And to be fair, looking at his hair there...
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so, yeah.
No, that's attention to detail.
The Cavalier, Eric the Cavalier, is, I think, the closest, because I found someone that really looks like him.
They've even did the ears.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's quite impressive. I mean, doesn't really make for good podcast material, but there's a trailer here.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just see them and the car, and they're wandering around doing stuff.
Okay.
And apparently there's more than one trailer as well, I'm told.
Marvellous.
I've only seen one. But I thought that was quite cool. Yeah. That's definitely a stick it in the show notes thing, and let people check out.
I am so confused why they would... I mean, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon hasn't been on TV since...
The 80s.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't know, maybe it's really big in Brazil.
Wow.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, it doesn't say D&D on it anywhere.
No.
Obviously.
But, yeah.
But they are very clearly those characters.
Yeah, there's no mistaking that.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right. What else have we got?
How's your Kickstarter going? A Touch More class.
Well, it hasn't launched, if that's what you mean.
It hasn't launched?
No.
Ah.
It's not launched.
Are you waiting until you're less hysterically busy?
No, I'm going to wait till after UK Games Expo for definite.
Yeah.
But I'll wait until we've got the books. As we always do for our Kickstarters.
Oh, yes.
I don't launch Kickstarters until I'm physically holding a book.
No, that's fair enough.
But you can get a preview of it.
Ooh.
A 12-page preview of A Touch More class.
Yes.
Which gives you the Savant.
Ah.
The entire class, 12 pages, which is basically a fantasy Sherlock Holmes.
Nice.
He's like even cleverer than the wizard.
Ah, that's so clever.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. So you can download that.
Yep.
And if you like the look of it, you can sign up for a mailing list, which will be used to let you know when the Kickstarter launches. So maybe you can get in on some of the early bird stuff.
Yes.
Because also one of the things I always do is I don't launch a Kickstarter until I've got a certain number of sign-ups to a mailing list, so that I can have a decent launch.
Ah, okay. Well, you'll be delighted to know that for this West Marches game that I'm going to be running, it's Adventurers League rules, except you can also have classes from A Touch of Class and A Touch More Class.
Woohoo!
Yeah! Hit the big time now.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a copy if you want.
Oh, I'd love a copy, yeah.
When I've got one.
Yeah, we get one, yeah.
I mean, the book's done electronically.
Yeah,
it's just a question of proofing and then printing it now.
Yeah. Well,
and then the Kickstarter's just going to be for doing the print run.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the sort of thing that will be fun for people to play.
Yeah. So we've got 9 new classes in that, because the original Touch-Up class had 7 classes.
Yes.
Quite excited.
So bring it up to a total of 16, which is more than doubling the existing classes.
Yeah, and they all come with subclasses and other material and all the stuff you need to play them.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What else have we got?
What else do we have?
I think this is the last bit of news now, but Paizo's Kingmaker, well, apart from the D&D news, but we'll do that after the sketch and everything.
Yes. Paizo's Kingmaker.
Was there D&D news? I didn't spot any over the weekend.
I think there was an announcement of something, but presumably it's just an announcement that's going to Fulcrum.
We'll get on to that. But Paizo's Kingmaker crowdfunding campaign.
Yes.
So they were doing the Kingmaker for Pathfinder 2nd Edition Compiled Edition.
Yes.
Pathfinder 2nd Edition Compiled hardcover of Kingmaker. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. I know what I mean.
Okay.
I'm sure the listeners know what I mean. Or they might not.
So they
don't listen to me expecting to understand me, so...
No, that seems ambitious.
Yeah. And unlikely, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen this far, then, quite frankly, it's entirely on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also it had the D&D 5th edition bestiary for Kingmaker.
Nice.
In the same campaign. They've extended it.
Extended?
By another couple of weeks. They say it's because they've got PaizoCon coming up.
Yes.
And UK Games Expo, and they're going to be at UK Games Expo. And they kind of want to advertise it at those 2 events.
Right.
And so they've decided to extend the crowdfunding campaign across them for another 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Which...
So
okay.
Well, maybe... If only it had some way of telling that these events were going to be coming out. Who could have foreseen that PaizoCon and UK Games Expo would be in their future? I don't know.
Especially PaizoCon, which they actually arranged themselves, yeah. Which is like held at their offices or something. No, I think it's probably held at a hotel or something, I don't know.
Probably not held in their offices. It might be quite...
I've never been to it because it's in Seattle, in America.
Right.
And I think the odds on me making it all the way to Seattle in America are slim, because it's a bloody long way.
Yeah.
Awfully long way.
But how will you live your dream of Shadowrun cosplaying?
Do you have to do that in Seattle, right?
Well, if you're doing it right.
I mean, cosplaying doesn't always... Because
you gotta play the elf.
If you're cosplaying as Batman, do you have to go to Gotham?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a purist in this matter.
Fair enough.
And if you're going to play as a stormtrooper, then you have to go to the Death Star. Or one of them.
Okay, then.
Well, I know.
I'm on board with this. Okay, that's a new rule. If you're cosplaying as anything, you have to go to the place where you are cosplaying as, even if that place is fictional.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that Seattle
Especially
is... I'm not
that place
saying,
fictional.
to make it clear, that Seattle is fictional.
Are you sure?
But it might be. Have you ever seen me and Seattle in the same room at the same time?
That's true.
There you go.
I've never met anyone from Seattle.
I have met I met people who claim to be from Seattle, but I wasn't in Seattle at the time, so they could have been making it up.
Yes. Yeah. You haven't seen people who said they're from Seattle.
They could actually have been from Totten.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
claiming to be from Seattle, putting on fake American accents and everything.
That seems sophisticated for people from Tottenham.
It's a long con. I'm not sure what the goal is, but that's how good it is.
Indeed. Right.
I think that is it for the news for this week.
Oh, marvellous.
Except for the big D&D stuff, which we'll do in a bit. Okay, is everybody ready? Characters all completed? John, what's your character's name?
Bob.
Bob.
Yes, Bob.
John, mate, I put a lot of effort into this campaign. I feel like you're not reciprocating. Are you sure that's what you want to call your character?
What's wrong with Bob?
Well, it lacks a sense of immersion. It feels anachronistic and it just doesn't fit well with this setting. Plus, it comes across as a bit, casual-like.
Casual?
Yeah, like it's an afterthought. Like you just scribbled down the first thing you thought of.
It's not his full name, you know.
Oh, that sounds promising. Should we just, let's use his full name then?
Well, if you insist, it is quite long, so you might find it a bit hard to pronounce.
Oh, anything's better than Bob. So pray tell me, what is Bob's full name?
His most excellent notability, Robert de Roundhead, 16th of his name, Sultan of the Great Plains, Baron of the Highlands, Hammer of the 18th Estate, Captain of the 12, Dominator of Tomorrow, and Marshal of the Void, Bringer of Justice and the rightful heir to Frederick the Reformer, His Serene Excellency and Custodian of Ruin.
I think I'll just call him Bob. Peter.
Yes, Rose.
How would you like to play our favourite game in all the world?
Oh, sweet. I'll get the cards.
Okay then, this is the game where I read out the name of a Kickstarter and you try and guess what it is from just the name.
Just the name?
Just the name.
Won't that make it very hard?
That's the idea.
Ah.
Well, it might make it very easy. Depends on how well they're named.
Ah.
Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay then. The first one this week. So this one is called, this is by Alex White.
Okay.
This is called A Cool and Lonely Courage.
Ooh, that's evocative.
It is evocative. And I think you're going to like this one as well. If you can guess it. Well, you'll like it even if you don't guess it.
Well, yeah.
But only after I've told you what it is.
He's got a good name, so yeah. Well, that's the joy of the Kickstarter game. I win either way. Cool and Lonely Courage. Well, it's definitely meaning cool in the sense of emotionally controlled rather than fashionable. Maybe
it means it in the sense of a fridge.
Yes, Russ. Something like that. It is basically a game of refrigerators as they make their way across the Arctic wastelands to face off against their evil masters. Or this is a shot. It might not be that. That would be a much worse game than whatever this is. So Cool and Lonely Courage.
You say?
I think this might be potentially a duet game, as in one GM and one player, and it's about facing off against some sort of incredible odds, like maybe in the style of 47.5 hours or something, whatever it's called. One of the chaps basically, spoilers, cut his hand off to get himself out of being trapped in rocks or like going around the world. Yeah, something like that.
So, what this is not that.
Okay.
What this is a tabletop story game about the heroic women of the Special Operations Executive in occupied France.
Nice.
During World War II, obviously. I don't know why I needed to add that last bit in, but
Well, thank you for clarifying that you weren't talking about MI5.
Occupied France, you might have thought I was talking about the Romans and Gauls or something.
That is very true.
There you go. So there is more than one example of occupied France.
Wouldn't that be Occupied Gaul?
Well, yes.
Where's the Asterix role-playing game? Well, to be fair, it was probably made into a D20 system sometime in the 2000s. How everything else was.
So, there we go. So this does look really interesting. Where are we? Let's have a look. So France has fallen to the Nazis. And Churchill decides to disrupt Hitler's war machine in the occupied countries.
Yes.
And he forms a volunteer group with one mission: to set Europe ablaze.
Yes.
Sometimes known as Churchill's Secret Army, the Special Operations Executive recruits agents from all walks of life. Mm-hmm. It's the only place on the Western Front where women train for combat operations.
Yep.
A game session takes for 2 to 4 hours to play. You need a pack of playing cards, some paper and pens, and this short 6x9-inch rulebook.
Nice. Well, that sounds like a fun game.
Yeah. How about Gene Funk 2090?
Well, that's going to be Cyberpunk, like straight off. Whew. Gene Funk. So Cyberpunk, but like trying to make Cyberpunk more biopunk. Because like, you could try Chrome, try Wetware instead. I think it's going to not be Shadowrun, because Shadowrun's busy being Shadowrun, and trying to be Shadowrun in the face of a 6th edition would be a foolish move. So we're probably going to go for something like a Powered by the Apocalypse style jazz thing. Oh, excuse me. A Powered by the Apocalypse style jazz thing, like the Sprawl.
Apocalypse style jazz thing?
That's right, yeah. So it's where you roll 2d6 and add some tags, depending on how well you're playing your musical instruments.
Your saxophone.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, brass jazz isn't just saxophones. It's mostly saxophones. There's a certain amount of noodling around required to do proper jazz. And I think that is, So, storytelling game, probably Fate, Powered by Apocalypse, one of those storytelling systems. And it's all about telling stories in a world of the nearish future, which
2090.
Nearish, and it's less about your cyberware and more about your exciting biotransformations, metahumanism.
Okay, so what this is exactly as you said, biopunk, cyberpunk.
Yep,
but it's D&D 5th edition. So you got the game right, but the system wrong.
Right. So D&D 5th edition.
I don't think there's much more to say about that.
Yeah.
It's biopunk, cyberpunk, everything you'd expect with that, but the D&D 5th edition.
So as described.
Yeah.
But
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like fun.
Yeah,
it's by
sure,
CRISPR Monkey Studios.
CRISPR,
as in gene editing thing.
Yeah.
And it's called Gene Funk 2090.
They got a theme going and they just ran with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Okay. Should we do one more, or we had enough?
Let's do one more.
So if there is one more. Monsters of the Underworld.
Ooh. Well, that would classically be a sort of Greek-themed idea of an underworld. So a bestiary describing things that lurk in dark places and are generally horrible.
Game system?
Ooh, 5th ed?
So it is 5th edition, but it's not Greek.
No.
So it's just the sort of D&D underground stuff. So we're talking Drow, Durgar, Deep Gnomes, Underdark, basically, but they call it Underworld.
Because reasons.
Yes.
Because they're not allowed to use in dark.
Yeah, essentially,
okay.
It includes 5e subclasses, random encounter tables, races, flora. Each monster has its own colour illustration, stat block and bio.
Oh, it's quite a cartoony style.
No, it's that one.
Oh, is that one? Oh, okay.
That's a different
Is that something else? Oh, okay. What's that? Oh, okay. 5th ed, compatible. Yeah. Fair enough.
There we go.
Huzzah!
Yeah. Right. I think you did reasonably well this week.
Yeah.
I think the world hasn't ended. You probably scored something like 60 out of 100, I reckon, in total.
Okay.
Scientifically calculated.
Yes.
Perfectly calculated.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, on the spreadsheet.
Indeed.
And thanks to Egg Embry for compiling the RPG crowdfunding column every week on EM World, which is what I use to choose my selections for this game. So cheers, Egg.
Yeah, thanks, Egg.
Well, what should we talk about now then?
Oh, well, the weather's been quite nice lately. Yeah.
There's been no news really, is there?
No.
Anything major happen over the weekend? Nothing really that I can think of.
I went to a nice barbecue. That was good.
It was a final episode of Game of Thrones.
Yes, we should talk all about what happened in Game of Thrones.
Which you haven't actually seen yet.
No, I read the books.
Well, this book hasn't been written yet, has it?
Oh, yes, we could talk about an unwritten book. That does sound exciting.
Over the weekend, there was The Descent, which was Wizards of the Coast's giant D&D event in LA, which had lots of celebrities and $300 tickets to get in, and concerts and musicians and live played games and all sorts of stuff going on. And at this event, they announced 4 new products. 4. One of which was the big new storyline for the year.
Yes.
Ooh, very exciting.
Well, what are the other 3? Because I've heard about the big storyline for the year.
We'll go through them one at a time then, shall we? How exciting.
Oh, yes, we should do that.
First of all, we need to thank somebody, though.
Yes.
Because these announcements, it being Wizards of the Coast, then being on the West Coast, as far west, while remaining in Western civilization as you can possibly go, with the single exception of Hawaii.
Indeed.
So you can't go any further west. So therefore, obviously, what you do is you have your announcements at the end of the day.
Of course.
Just to ensure that for the majority of the entire world, it's in the early hours of the morning.
Yes.
You don't put it at the beginning of the day.
No.
You put it at the beginning of the day, like people will be able to actually see it.
What?
We don't want that, no.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that only one tiny time zone sliver is able to see your announcements.
And that important Hawaiian dollar.
Yeah.
Because we know how important role-playing is in Hawaii, because they don't have anything better to do, like be outside or go to a beach to enjoy living in a magnificent ocean paradise. No, they're all firmly indoors playing D&D.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So these were announced at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Nice,
It was 2 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And 2 o'clock on Monday morning. 2 different announcements.
Okay, yeah.
Both of which were basically end of business in their time zone. So should we do them in reverse order of size or chronological order? How would you like to go through them?
All reverse order of size.
So the least exciting one going up to the biggest.
Let's manage my expectations.
Well, it depends on which one you would find the most exciting, though. So I don't necessarily know.
That's true.
So I'm just going to guess. So I think the one that you would find, I'm sure you'll find all of them exciting, because they are they are all new D&D products.
Okay.
And you are a big D&D fan.
It has been known.
Yes, I've seen you licking your books.
You must be silenced.
So let's start with the smallest, or what I think is the smallest. So we've got the Stranger Things starter set in front of us here, and lovely it is. Although
it's nice.
Rather too expensive over here. So I'm really glad that Shane sent it to us.
Like the equivalent of $50, so cheers Shane for doing us a solid.
There is going to be a Rick and Morty one.
Oh, nice.
Similar kind of gig, I think, basically.
Wait, Rick and Morty... Oh, no, actually, this isn't history. There's actually a comic book series.
Yeah, there is, by Jim Zub,
I have been following it with every sign of enjoyment.
Oh, jolly good. Well, he was there at The Descent. Jim Zub, the author of that series.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, this is the...
Well, Patrick Rufus was doing writing for it, so that's how I found out.
Oh, was he? I thought it was Jim Zub.
Well, it can be both.
Oh, illustrated by Jim Zub, written by Patrick Rufus, yeah.
Yes.
So that's it. A picture of it. Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty tabletop role-playing game adventure.
Yeah.
So in partnership with Adult Swim, obviously.
We should probably mention that Patrick Rufus is the chap who wrote The Name of the Wind, which has been, I think it's fair to say, well received. I'm just a bit jealous of the fact the first book he ever wrote is so well written.
Yeah. So this Rick and Morty box set, it puts the characters and weirdness of Rick and Morty front and centre. It blends the world of Dungeons and Dragons with the mad, narcissistic genius of Rick Sanchez's power gaming sensibilities, and includes everything a dungeon master needs to channel their inner mad scientist and run a Rick-rolling adventure for up to 5 players, levels 1 to 3.
Have you're not a big fan of cartoons, so you've never watched Rick and Morty, have you? Okay. And I think you're probably taking something quite different from what I'm taking from that statement.
Okay.
Wow.
I've seen an episode of it.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm completely unaware of what it is. It's just like I don't watch it generally.
It's pretty good. I mean, the main thing to take away from it is that Rick is not a protagonist. Well, they are protagonists, they're definitely not a hero. In the same way that Walter White, people say, oh, Walter White's great. No. If you're watching that whilst watching Breaking Bad, your moral compass has led you far, far astray.
Yes, or Daenerys Targaryen, for example.
Oh, she's right. Has nice hair. Yeah.
Likes to massacre entire towns.
Well, yeah. It's like pre-slaves, massacres towns. I'm sure some US people might have views on this, but let's move on.
So that's
Rick and Morty.
So that's one of the 4 things that they've announced.
Well, I can guarantee that will be being played at the club because some of the guys there are massive fans.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll definitely get it without a doubt.
Yeah.
Even if I have to beg someone to send me a copy of it.
Yes, it's not available. Available in the US starting June. Available in the UK 2025.
Yeah, that's for the fine price of £250,000 million.
Yeah, because apparently we'll pay that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so, Rick and Morty starter set. Cool.
Yeah.
The next thing they announced was something called the D&D Essentials Kit. Have you seen this?
Oh, that rings bells. I think someone was posting stuff about that on my Facebook. Is this like some sort of like duet play for D&D?
No.
Okay.
It's a bigger starter set, basically. It's a more advanced starter set, I think, is what I'm taking away from this.
Right.
So what you've got is a newly designed rulebook.
Yeah.
But instead of... Because the original starter set didn't have character creation rules in it, did it? It just had pre-projectors, if I recall correctly.
Okay, yeah.
This one teaches you how to make characters.
Yes.
Designed to sort of... It says to onboard players by teaching them how to make characters.
Okay.
So it's got a brand new 64-page starter adventure called Dragon of Ice Spire Peak.
Yep.
Which takes a new D&D party from levels 1 to 6. Oh, it does include a one-on-one rules variant. Maybe that's what you meant. Yeah. Which transforms D&D into a single-player game. And it'll be $24.99 in North America or £500 in the UK 7 years later. It's releasing only in Target stores at first in North America on June the 24th.
You need to cut out this amount of salt in your diet. It's not good for your blood pressure, mate.
Anyway, releasing in Target stores in North America on June 24th.
Yes.
And then we'll get it on September the 3rd.
Okay, which year?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no, that's nice.
Just look quite a nice cover there.
I am liking that. There's a big ice worm, and then you've got like some dude saying, "Yeah, we can totally take that." Spoilers.
Yeah. It's been what 5 years since the original starter set.
Yeah.
And then we've got Stranger Things starter set.
Ooh, so it's
the Rick and Morty starter set.
Yes.
And then this one, they're not calling it a starter set. They're calling it an Essentials Kit.
Yeah, but it's got an adventure taking levels 1 to 6. So
yeah,
that's pretty good because normally it stops at level 4, which is traditionally when things start getting good. Yeah.
Right, next item on the agenda is... Well, there's 2, so I don't know which of these 2 things would interest you the most. So I am going to go with Eberron.
Oh, okay, yes, Eberron.
They are announcing an Eberron hardcover. Or they have announced an Eberron hardcover.
Yes, you mentioned that there was an Eberron hardcover. I didn't know what you were talking about. I just assumed you were just babbling. But no.
I was babbling. But I was babbling about an Eberron hardcover. So they announced it right at the end of the Descent thing. Last thing. No details really. They just kind of closed it out by saying that the final book out this year is going to be a hardcover setting book for Eberron.
Yeah, well, you've got the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron that's been on...
Wayfarers, I think, is it?
Yeah, what did I say? Wayfinders. Oh, did I say Wayfinder? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, Wayfarer's Guide to Eberron. And that's been out for like ages and has been getting the odd update here and there. And generally seems pretty good.
So there's absolutely no information about this whatsoever, other than the fact that it is a hardcover book coming out this year.
Okay.
How it relates to the Wayfarer's Guide, I don't know. Whether it's got the same material or different material, I don't know.
I should imagine it's going to be quite similar. It's got they're advertising it with a pair of Warforged right there, so I feel safe to say that they're going to be in there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, for Eberron fans, that's fantastic news.
Yeah.
It's interesting that the 2 new settings they've released,
because
they did Ravnica last year, and they're doing Eberron this year.
Yes.
They're both sort of techno-magic-y themed in a way.
Yes, that's right.
They're both sort of in the same direction away from traditional fantasy.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that's where they have sort of intellectual space. because everyone can do your classic high fantasy sort of jazz of swords
Talk about jazz
and
again.
sorcery.
Fancy jazz.
Yeah. It's where you have to play your... you've never heard...
Your magical saxophone.
Or as we call it, the magical bagpipes. Bagpipe jazz for us. Think on that, my friend.
That sounds amazing.
It certainly sounds something to listen to.
Yes. It
If
sounds
only once, say you did.
yeah. So, yeah. Is this one you're going to pick up then? The Old Everyone hardcover?
I would certainly be interested in it, yeah. I do tend to prefer homebrewing stuff. I think my D&D needs are largely met, but yeah, I mean, I could say
You get some
it depends.
magical trains and airships and, you know.
Yeah, but do I need rules for those?
How often do you need rules for those?
How often do you fight a magical airship? Fighting on a magical airship, very cool. Otherwise, yeah, there's plenty of stuff in the Dungeon Master's Guide which gives you some quite decent stuff. So
Yeah. Well, that was the surprise when they say surprise announcement. It wasn't that much of a surprise.
No.
I actually put a Twitter poll up beforehand, wondering what people thought it might be the end of thing announcement. And my options were Planescape, Eberron, more Forgotten Realms, Mike Mills popping out of a box.
No, Mike Mills being shot out of a cannon.
But what actually happened was everyone pretty much voted for Planescape. They all thought it was going to be Planescape because of all the other hints and stuff. And it turns out it's Eberron.
Red herrings abound.
Yeah. So Eberron is going to be... Well, they got the Acquisitions Incorporated book coming out this year.
Yes.
That's a hardcover. We've got Eberron coming out this year. That's
We've
a
already had
hardcover.
Heroes of Baldur's Gate.
We've got Ghost of Saltmarsh. That's a hardcover.
How can I forget Ghost of Saltmarsh? It's not like we spent the past month talking about something else.
And then that leaves just one more item.
Oh, yeah.
One more hardcover, making 4 this year. Which is the most, I think. Is that the most they've done in 1 year? And that's not even counting all these starter sets.
You know what? I think it might be, actually.
So because also this year they got the Stranger Things starter set and the 2 starter sets we've talked about today. So 3 starter sets and 4 hardcover books.
Oof.
Anyway, so there's a big storyline.
Yes.
The big thing, the Descent, the new big hardcover adventure.
Yep.
We had already guessed it.
Yes.
We guessed it last week.
Yes.
We just didn't know the exact title, but we pretty much guessed what the vague theme was, didn't we?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, after you'd found out it was a Zariel, and we did a trivial amount of Googling.
Yes.
It was like, so the main thing about Zariel is she descends into Avernus and gets her head kicked in.
Yes.
I was like, well, that sounds like an adventure to me.
So this is called Descent into Avernus. It's called
bum.
Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, no less.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
Well, they did last year. They did 2 books entitled Waterdeep, then things. Now it looks like they're going Baldur's Gate, then things. So there's some kind of branding going on there that they're working with.
Descent into Avernus fit in that. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah. So what was interesting was this leaked before the announcement.
Oh.
Before the event.
Yeah.
So there was a Canadian bookstore called Renaud Bray.
Okay.
And they posted a listing for the new book several hours ahead of the planned live stream.
Oh, they pulled in Amazon.
Obviously someone immediately told me, and Darryl went live with the article several hours early because,
of course.
don't want to be the last person to announce it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and now they're blaming you for leaking.
I'm sure they probably are, but, again,
like
it wasn't us.
Reporting stuff that other people have put out there. Shocking.
Yeah. So we knew what it was before the actual live stream started. Mm-hmm. We didn't know that much information, but we had a price, we had an ISBN number, we had a title.
Did we have a weight?
We didn't have a weight.
Sorry.
We didn't have a weight.
That can wait.
Yeah.
That can wait. Yes.
So, Descent into Avernus.
Yes.
Let's have a look. The first layer of the 9 hells.
Right.
That's Avernus. The celestial turned archdevil Zariel is enacting her long-awaited vengeance upon the city of El Turel.
Okay.
A group of unlikely adventurers have been pulled into the struggle.
Okay.
So it's 1 to 13 levels.
I was going to say. I got to ask, what are level 1 characters doing in this mess?
They are starting off in Baldur's Gate.
Yes. Mind your own business.
Yes.
Blistered in the cruel trick that faces
So we start with low-level adventures in Baldur's Gate, which is a dark and gritty metropolis. And
the Gotham to...
yeah. Yeah, it's the Gotham City to Waterdeep's metropolis. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a metropolis, not like Metropolis.
Yes.
Right. I thought I'd check that.
Yeah. So it's coming out in September the 17th.
Yep.
There's a trailer for it for those that are interested in such things.
Yes.
And there's a whole load of information here, like loads of it.
That is a lot of words you've got there.
So Chris Perkins said, it's a trip to hell. It's D&D meets Mad Max Fury Road with a bit of Dante's Inferno.
Uh-huh. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Involves the Blood War and the Outer Planes starting in hell. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. well, obvious now.
The Blood War was set up in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and so this has been in the works for a while.
Okay.
They were dropping hints in there.
I haven't read Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, to be fair, so that's probably why I have no idea about the stuff. But yeah, that's cool.
So Kate Welsh, who's one of the D&D designers, says there will be new character creation options for characters from Baldur's Gate.
Nice.
And Perkins confirmed characters and even groups can have dark secrets. Would you like a dark secret?
No, that's alright, I got one.
You sure?
Oh, I couldn't possibly have another.
No?
They're quite fascinating.
It's a bit greedy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Try to cut down.
Apparently in Avernus, resting and death saving throws have different rules. It's because you're in hell, it's all different.
Interesting. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're probably going to make short resting and death less effective. Maybe.
I would guess.
Less recovery of hit points.
Well, it could be that you can't die because you're in hell. So something else happens to you.
It could be. Oh, maybe get some sort of fearsome mutation.
Don't know.
I can see that going over well.
There's information on something called Infernal War Machines, which are kind of vehicles.
Yes.
And the machines in hell are powered by souls. So good characters will have to deal with the moral questions of consuming even evil souls.
Oh.
New rules for deals with the devil.
Okay.
Many characters who are not demons, devils, or corrupt souls.
Okay.
So there's refugees from other planes who are there because they may have become evil as the plane infects them.
Oh. So they made terrible life decisions, ended up in hell, then hung out and became evil.
I guess, yeah.
Well, when in Rome, do as the Bob Torres do.
It says that Varial is a final boss kind of thing, according to Kate Welsh. Let's have a look. A lot of jokes about comparisons to corporate environments. I don't know what that means.
Working in an office has been considered to be hell. I suppose it's been a long time since you worked in an office. If you ever did you ever work in an office?
I did many years ago, yeah.
It's rubbish, wasn't it?
It wasn't great fun, no.
Has not got better since.
I'm sure it hasn't.
No.
Sure it hasn't. The adventure's written with brand new DMs in mind.
Oh, nice.
And they created a brand new infernal language font for the adventure.
Okay.
How exciting.
Yes. I love a good font. Yes.
There's going to be a tie-in comic series.
Ooh.
Including characters from Baldur's Gate, like Minx and Boo, going to Avernus.
Yes.
What else do we have? That's most of it, I think. Some nice art of Baldur's Gate there.
Yep.
In the book.
So it is. Yeah.
So how would you rank those 4 products then? How of your level of interest?
My level of interest, I am going to say I'm actually probably least interested in the Avernus stuff.
Right.
Because
that's the one I'm most interested in.
Absolutely. For me, the going to like heavens or hells seems a bit weird because I don't find myself ever getting very invested in the mythology created by D&D. Largely because if you look at the cosmology in the back of the player's handbook, it's basically, did you have an idea and put it in print since first edition came out about the Outer Planes? Yes? Oh, well, welcome aboard. We'll stick it in there. It's rammed full of stuff. It's just like, there's no need for it. It just makes it complicated and bizarre. Unless you're massively invested in it, then it's annoying. But you need the cosmology to be in place. You can't just play the game because so many of the spells require this cosmology to work. Which I found out the hard way when I was like trying to run a game, my first game, and then somebody wanted to play a wizard, and they decided I'm going to be a diviner and look at how everything works, which meant that they were basically concentrating on breaking my setting, which I didn't mean to, but was an unfortunate consequence.
See, stick.
Yeah, they ended up playing a warlock instead, and I can't help but feel they're a bit disappointed by that. But yeah, I'm sort of...
So you put Avernus at the bottom.
Like, I don't know, I'd buy Avernus. I probably wouldn't buy the Rick and Morty stuff.
I wouldn't. I'd only buy it as a collector's thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, the Essentials is less relevant for me, but I might pick it up for an adventure taking people from 1 to 6.
Yeah.
I do like a good pre-written, and like, you know, I'll see. I'm keeping my expectations low about Avernus. If it's not a case of you get to like level 10 and then there's one encounter where you're supposed to go up 3 levels at once because you're fighting them, then I will be more interested, because it's like breaking into that like tier 3 of stuff for D&D is quite hard, and I'll be quite interested. And what else we got? We got Eberron, yeah, that's actually probably the most exciting, because I do like the major princess things. I picked up Ravnica, and would like to run or play it at some point. And yeah, I think I'd put Eberron in there. So yeah, that's pretty exciting for me.
I think my order is the exact opposite way around.
Yeah. Most excited about Avernus.
Yeah. Then the 2 starter sets, I kind of just like from a collector's point of view.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a collector.
You're not fussed at all about Eberron?
I've never played an Eberron. I've never even owned an Eberron book.
Oh, okay.
Well, even going back to 3rd edition, I didn't have one then. So,
or maybe it's because of the GM that I had. Like, they made it have a really strong.
I'm sure
it's
amazing. I'm sure it is. It's just that I don't have myself a personal sort of nostalgic connection with it at all.
Well, this isn't nostalgia. This is like 3 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, but Eberron's been around for a while, hasn't it? It's
exactly. It's one of those places I've heard of, but I've never actually been to.
Yeah.
So, as it were. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to pick it up.
Because
I pick all this stuff up, but I don't know that I would probably ever play it. I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know.
Yeah, but it depends if you get the chance to play it or whether you have to run it.
Yeah, there is that.
I can see not running it because you're not invested, being very reasonable. But if someone comes to you and says, "Here, Russ, you want to play some Eberron?" You're not going to say no, are you?
Depends who it is. Depends how much they smell.
Oh. What sorts of horrible stereotypes are you perpetuating even about geeks?
Depends if I like them or not.
That's true.
Depends if they're paying me or not.
No. Yeah, let's just see that last one ain't happening.
Yeah. yes. Yeah. I've never been paid to play D&D, no.
That's living the dream. Yeah.
Well, some people do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they get paid to run D&D. Well, if you're on Critical Role or something, that's when you're being paid to play it, aren't you?
Paid to play?
Yeah.
Paid to play?
Yeah.
Better than paid to play by a long way.
Yeah. So I've never been paid to play. Yeah, so there you go. That's the big announcements for the Descent.
Yes. Well, it sounds like there's going to be a packed and busy schedule. We will, of course, be reviewing them as they come out.
Well, I think we're probably done for the week then, haven't we?
Good stuff.
We've covered up all the news. Not covered it up, covered it.
We have covered it.
Covering it up would be something else entirely.
That would be something else entirely.
Yes, that would be the opposite of a news podcast. Yeah. So I'd just like to remind everybody that our Patreon is at patreon.com/Morrus. If you could just give us $1 or something a month, we'd be super grateful. And it means that we can continue to make this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Next week's a special week.
Yes.
Next week is our 50th episode.
No, it's not. It's our 51st episode. We covered this already.
It's episode number 50.
That's right.
But it is our 51st episode, yes. Okay.
It is, yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's episode number 50. Big week. We're going to have Shane Stacks on, who's a long-time supporter of the show.
Yep.
And we're going to have Daryl, who is our editor and sound engineer, also on next week.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be a party. Yeah, well, thank you everybody for listening. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
My ears hurt. That was awful. The worst. I'm going to be punishing those two for this awful performance. I just have to decide whether to put them both in the Iron Maiden or have them eaten alive by sandwich ants.